Hello and welcome everybody to this show yet to be named. We're still working on it,
That's how it goes.
But show names are hard for me. I can never get my show name done before the first episode. But anyways, we're going to be doing a season preview for all 30 NBA teams. This first episode will be the Eastern Conference. Next episode will be Western Conference. We'll split that up because these episodes will probably be a lot longer than our usual episodes if we continue doing this. And let us know if you want us to keep going through this throughout the season. Keep talking NBA with you guys, or any sports for that matter.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be limited to NBA, but let us know what kind of content you guys want to see. But I am Sean. I'm joined with my friend Trevor right across the table from me on our nice fancy poker table that we're using to record this on.
Yeah, well, we do our monthly poker nights on, and in the man cave filled with sports memorabilia. I see a lot of Chicago stuff, which we'll be getting into here pretty quickly. Oh yeah.
So Eastern Conference, we're gonna go Eastern Conference first. We're gonna go from the way I have this ordered is we're gonna go from lowest over-unders to the highest. So we're going to be starting from the worst teams, and then we'll ending with the best teams. Let's just start it off. The worst team in the NBA, I think it's going to be this season. We've got the Chicago Bulls. Their over-under is 21.5. So tell me, because Trevor is a giant Chicago fan, so tell me about your Bulls, Trevor. What do you got going on here?
Absolutely. Well, we picked a path. We got rid of Jimmy Butler.
What path is that?
We picked the path of
losing?
Stink as much as possible. So we lost Jimmy Butler, obviously. He's in Minnesota with Coach Thibodeau. And we got Lauri Markkanen, the forward out of Arizona, who can stretch the floor and hit threes, although he missed all of them in his first preseason game.
Hit threes in quotation marks.
Yeah, quote unquote. Zach LaVine, who is working hard to get back, but for whatever reason, management won't let him come back and play because our management is a bunch of.
So actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
because I know personally, but not our fans. This is the first episode. What am I doing? But people listening to this might not know this about you, but. Are you I know a lot of Chicago fans are upset of the way the Chicago Bulls are going. How would you like to try to rebuild, or did you want to try to keep Jimmy Butler? Because Jimmy Butler was still young.
Right. It's really hard. It felt like they put themselves in a situation, no matter which way they went, they were going the wrong direction. I mean, you can't trade a top 15 at the worst player in the NBA in his prime and expect to get somebody of equal value. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So, but at the same time, Jimmy Butler was basically winning them 20, 25 games by himself, and the rest of the team was so bad on bad contracts that they couldn't get out of it. And that's kind of the situation they were in. So you either keep rolling with Jimmy Butler, win 40 to 45 games, get knocked out by Boston or Cleveland, and just roll that way, or you trade him, get a bunch of young assets, lose some games, get a couple top draft picks, hope you can sign some big free agents and move on.
The only problem I have, though, is the Bulls are we want to get younger and more athletic. We're gonna get younger and more athletic, whatever. And I get that. I understand the sentiment. But when you have, what was the 7th pick in the draft?
Yeah.
When you have the 7th pick of the draft, you don't draft Lauri Markkanen. He's not... He's younger, but he's not more athletic.
No, he's not.
Especially with people like Dennis Smith still on the board, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I understand trying to rebuild because you don't want to be in the same position like an Indiana Pacers team is all the time because they don't want to rebuild. They don't want to ever tank. So they always are middle of the pack.
Right.
It's kind of hard for them to get better, and they luck out on someone like Paul George, who leaves this year, but they're still going to try to win.
Right.
But... people like Dennis Smith are still on the board. Donovan Mitchell, who's going to be an absolute stud.
I mean,
you do get Zach LaVine, but
Luke Kennard was on the board too. He can shoot and he's athletic. Yeah, so it's
Zach LaVine is a young athletic player. And I think I really really like Zach LaVine. I liked him in Minnesota. It's yet to see if he could actually play on a good team and be your second or third best option.
Also, that ACL depends on how he comes back from that.
Exactly.
But he's been working hard. So
still unknown. So. Also, I know you dislike the coach, but
Oh,
we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the season when we're like calling for people's jobs, then we'll get into it. But anyways, where are you going on the Chicago Bulls over under 21.5?
I'm gonna go slightly over.
You're going to go slightly over?
I think they'll win 22, 23 games. The only reason I say that is because they have really inconsistent 3-point shooters, but that means on 5, 6, 7 nights out of the year, they're going to just be money from 3. Mirotic will hit 6 in a game. Markkanen will hit 6 in a game. Denzel will hit 5 in a game. And I really think that they're gonna get bailed out in a lot of games by just making some threes. But I'll say 22 wins, probably 23. I'm gonna go slightly over.
All right, slightly over for you. I'm gonna go under because this is the last tanking year. This is the last year for teams to tank and benefit from it. So I'm gonna go under because there's no real incentive for the Bulls to win. They don't get Zach LaVine back, even if he were to help them win. They don't get Zach LaVine back until, we don't know, maybe a month into the season. So I'm going to go under. I think they're going to win like 18 games. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine.
All right, moving on. Atlanta Hawks, 25.5 over under.
I'm definitely going under for the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay, going under. But I see this, and they lost a lot of big pieces for them. Like, Dwight Howard, he's obviously not like the Dwight Howard of old, but still a big piece for them. Tim Hardaway Jr. was a big piece for them. Paul Millsap was obviously the star. Losing a lot of big pieces. And now you look at their starting lineup now. You've got Dennis Schroeder, Kent Bazemore, who starts at the 3. Taurean Prince.
Yeah, he'll start at the 4, and probably Ilyasova. They'll be able to switch out Ilyasova, Muscala, and Dedmon. I don't even think they know what they're doing yet. They do have a young, athletic forward in John Collins out of Wake Forest. He's going to be pretty good for them, but he's basically the only talent they have outside of Dennis Schroeder, who's also been arrested for assault and battery, so he might miss most of the season.
Yeah, and when your best player is Dennis Schroeder, you're probably going to win 25 games.
Probably. I like Schroeder, but he's inconsistent. He can't do it all himself. I just don't see it. He's more of a distributor, in my opinion. He can't hit the 3 ball if you leave him wide open. But they're going to go under. I don't think. Now
the Al Horford, Paul Millsap era is officially over.
Yep.
In Atlanta. So what do you think about that whole? I mean, they obviously lost to Al Horford a couple years ago, but what did you think about that whole era for them? Because they were always a good team, but they only win 50 games 2 times, I believe.
I believe 2 times, yeah. They won. I think they won close to 60 that one year.
They did,
the 4 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Well, I think Budenholzer's a great coach. I think that they just ran into LeBron James is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
There's nothing really you can do about that, especially when LeBron's going to stack his team with players that they can't guard. Dennis Schroeder can't guard Kyrie Irving.
Or anybody, for that matter.
That's true. DeMarre Carroll is a good defender, but he's not going to guard LeBron James.
Kent Bazemore has the tools to be a good defender. I don't know if he is or not. But yeah, I think you already said you're under. What's your win prediction for the Atlanta Hawks?
Probably good. I'd honestly, especially because I think Schroeder's going to. Adam Silver is a big crackdown guy, so I don't think Schroeder's going to play half the season, which means they're rolling with Bazemore and Delaney as your point guards. I guess Quinn Cook out of Duke might come in, so I'm thinking 20 wins. I think it's going to be way under.
All right, I'm going under too. I think it's going to be right around 25, so I think it's going to be under. So we're both under for that one.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. An interesting team. The Brooklyn Nets with a 28.5 wins over under.
That's kind of high.
I thought it was kind of high too, but when Jeremy Lin and Brook Lopez is no longer on the team, that's their big loss from last year. But when they were both healthy, they're actually above 500 team.
That's actually kind of shocking.
Yeah, that is kind of shocking. And I think Jeremy Lin is actually a good player, but
he is a good player.
But I don't know how the Jeremy Lin, I can't think of his name right now. D'Angelo Russell thing is going to work out.
Right. It'll be interesting how they're probably both going to be on the floor. I've always thought D'Angelo Russell was more of a 2 guard anyway.
But does D'Angelo Russell think he's a 2 guard?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. I think a change of scenery is going to help. He's going from the West Coast to the East Coast. I really think this is still really high for me. Vegas is usually pretty good at this stuff, but at 28.5, I don't know if I can go there. I like Karis LeVert. He can play the 3 and the 4 spot, which is nice. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson's a good wing defender. Trevor Booker can kind of get you 18 to 20 on a good night, but I don't think they're going to stop anybody in the paint. And it's really going to come down to, can D'Angelo Russell hit threes? Can Jeremy Lin distribute the ball well? There's just a lot of question marks. I'd probably go slightly under.
I mean, they added Allen Crabbe for a lot of money.
Yeah, they took on that contract from Portland. I don't really know why.
But, I mean, Allen Crabbe's going to hit you threes. He's a good defender. D'Angelo Russell is going to hit... I don't think they can defend at all other than Allen Crabbe.
Yeah, and Mozgov can kind of protect the paint a little bit.
But is he going to...
But he's not going to get that many minutes. When Trevor Booker and Quincy Acy are probably your starting bigs, depending on if they put LeVert at the 3 or the 4, it's going to be a problem.
I think they'll be right around 28 wins.
Yeah, I could see it. Maybe like 26.
Yeah, I'm going to go under 2, but I'm going to go very slightly under. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be shocked if they won like 32 games.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me either. It depends on Russell's ability to develop and this change of scenery. I think he outstayed his welcome in LA.
Oh yeah. After that whole Snapchat thing, it was kind of all downhill.
It was
from there.
over.
Anyways, moving on. We have the New York Knickerbockers.
Oh brother.
At 30.5 wins. Another team that I don't know why they passed on multiple people, Dennis Smith included, who's looking like, so far in the preseason, the best point guard. Before we
belittle the Knicks, they passed on a lot of people for Porzingis, and that panned out. So I'm not gonna jump the gun.
I know, but that panned out like, oh, we took Porzingis.
I'm sure they're trying to lose when they took it, but it did end up working out.
It kind of worked out for them. But obviously, the big storyline heading to the season is no more Carmelo Anthony. You know, that whole, I feel like other than the first 2 years, that whole Carmelo Anthony project with the Knicks was a failure.
Yeah,
I say the least, because they only made the playoffs once or twice.
Once, I believe, with him.
And that was like when Jeremy Lin was going off and kind of saved their season. Mm-hmm. And Carmelo Anthony's a good player, but that was not a good situation for him at all.
No, well, it also doesn't help that they swapped coaches. They went from Fisher to Rambis to Hornacek, and it's like that just does not fit Carmelo. He's a good ISO player. He's actually an underrated rebounder, and I think his defense was a big problem. He got lazy at times. I've always kind of felt like I had to defend Carmelo, especially last year when they were basically from November to February. They're like, we're trading you, and he kept it as a professional. They didn't trade him. He still stayed as a professional. So I got to give Carmelo Anthony credit for that.
Also, the end of the Phil Jackson era.
Yeah, that's going to be big. I think
that's a giant cloud lifted up off them.
And the Knicks going in now know that their basketball front office is not purposely trying to just destroy the team.
Yeah. I'm cheering for the Knicks this season. I'm looking at this roster right now.
There's a lot I like.
There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of players that I just like. Ron Baker, Porzingis is always fun to watch. Michael Beasley. I can't wait for Michael Beasley to start one game and go off for 35 points. It's gonna be great.
Hernan Gomez,
Tim Hardaway Jr., Hernan Gomez, Doug McDermott, former Chicago.
I like McDermott, but we'll see.
Enes Kanter's a big another one for him too.
Enes Kanter's going to come off the bench for them, and he's going to get them a solid 12 to 15 points a game, probably.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Courtney Lee is a great defender, pretty good shooter. Tim Hardaway, pretty good shooter, okay-ish defender. Another team that I don't think guards anybody. No, not really.
They have some protection at the rim, but not really.
No, Kanter can't play defense. He's going to be suspended for half the year, and he's done.
Porzingis can block shots, but
Porzingis just kind of stands there and gets in people's way, but that's about it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in 115 to 120 point games.
So what are you expecting from Frankie? I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name.
Yeah. I'm not getting my hopes up. I think that there's a lot.
I think that was a giant mistake on their part. Like,